start building it while you're at some other company, but just be responsible and ethical that you're not taking time completely away from the company that's paying you salary. So, but you should always have two things cooking versus one eggs in a basket.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and the wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How does it work, and how can you get more customers from LinkedIn?
Yeah, the whole inbound is you got to do the right amount outbound. So I set up a list of people that you want to go after. I send them 3 to 4 emails, and usually inviting them to a roundtable or mastermind or a conference that you're going to attend. Same thing with LinkedIn. The whole idea is to drive people to that event, whether it's online or in person. So that's kind of how you take care of things. It's not just about volume, it's about hitting the right people with the right message at the right time.
So basically, if you have the leads, you're talking about this process to get the cold leads into warms lead before
Right.
they buy. Is that correct?
It's asking them to be part of a roundtable or podcast like what you're doing, so you can get to know people and who they are and what they do, versus just hitting them with pitch. We call it pitch slapping inside of the marketing space. You don't want to pitch slap people.
And so, any techniques for LinkedIn? How can
What?
you generate leads using LinkedIn?
You basically hit people on connections. You follow them. You send them invites to roundtables and masterminds that you do. You join groups. You look for open profiles to make sure that they can be reached by not just hitting people on connections. You comment on their post. You see who's commenting on their post, and you scrape that list. You make sure your LinkedIn is not a front-facing resume, but it's more about how you help somebody. So there's expertise on making your LinkedIn better than just the resume online.
So, how you, Michael, the in discover or start to do this service, right? So, tell us a little bit more about your process, how it works, and how can you help people with.
Um, how it works is that you basically would sign a statement of work with our company. I'd say the average retainer is 3 to 5,000 a month, or a cost per lead approach. We would automate someone's LinkedIn and make sure, like, you have 15,000 connections. I would get you to 30,000 connections of people that you want to talk to in the first year. The whole idea is also promote and pitch content on your website or on your LinkedIn, and then set up about 15 to 20 different email domains and email inboxes, so that we can send 50 to 100 emails per day per box, so we don't break any domains, so we don't use your domains. And then set up roundtables and podcasts every month, so that we can produce content that you can also tag people on and grow that exponentially.
Plus your background a little bit more. You said you spent 15 years in sales.
No, 30.
Wow. So which
Yeah.
companies? What you were doing?
I worked for Monster.com, Symphony Talent, Dice.com, a lot of job recruiting websites. Then I got into sports marketing and mobile marketing. So I was at TechStation. We worked with the NFL, the NBA, TET, the Soccer United, which is the MLS, about 35 professional sports teams, the UFC. So I've always been able to get leads for other people, other clients, other companies. And I just realized, why am I doing this for a company? Why not do it for my company and make more money? So I went from $250,000 to $300,000 a year in salary and commission to about $1 million a year. And so that's kind of what you got to
Wow,
do. Yeah.
very impressive.
So you got to really start your own company. Kind of like you, I think you have too. It's like, why am I making other people rich? I can make more money by doing the right thing at the right time and offer something that's different.
Tell us a little bit more about this transition between corporate to entrepreneur, because when you're in corporate, well, you're making less money, but at least somebody come and tell you, hey, you have to do this. You say, well, I'm sorry, this is not my job. So when you have your own company, everything is your job. It's not only
Well, I've
sales,
always been
marketing, everything.
all these startups. I've always done way more than just a sales guy or VP of sales. So when you're at a startup, you're always doing multiple tasks. And I've never been the one that says this is not my job. So that wasn't a big change. But the
So
thing is, I was starting to build this company when I was at another company, and gradually graduated away from that full time job because it wasn't worth me doing anymore. So it is nice to have not to do a dead stop of one company that you're working for and like I want to start my own company. Start building it while you're at some other company, but just be responsible and ethical that you're not taking time completely away from the company that's paying you salary. So, but you should always have two things cooking versus one eggs in the basket, and that's why I like working for my company because I have 15 different clients, and if I lose one, it's not a big deal. I don't want to lose one, but if you lose your job, it's you're kind of stressed.
yeah. So Michael, I agree with you 100%. When I started my first business, I was working as a room service in the Hilton in Canary Wharf, and I was doing both things. I was doing my job and then building the company on the side
Yeah,
until until we managed to get this transition. But still, we have a lot of people in corporate and defense listening to the podcast, and they're saying, I wish that I have the courage that Michael did, like
yeah. I didn't have the
switch from corporate to being an entrepreneur without knowing that you did it gradually. This is the 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 most reasonable things to do, because there are people in this podcast out of the 500 million as we interview. They say some of them they came and said, "Well, Harry, I was in corporate, COVID came, got fired, and then I started my company," which is, I think, it's a big risk like this. So some people,
yeah.
they started to think it's worse and they go fired. And then the other day in this podcast, one guy 63 years old got fired from a corporate job, arrived to the house, and he couldn't even look at his wife. Now 69, he's a multimillionaire. And he told me, Harry, I was so coward all my life to drop my corporate. He didn't tell me coward. He told me that he was very comfortable. So comfortable. They were paying a lot of money to him. They were nice, and he was so comfortable that and no, and courage. He told me also courage. He told me I didn't have the courage to leave a so comfortable corporate job to start my own company. Bottom line, at 63, they fired me, and all the money they paid me, I did the wrong investment, so everything was gone. And then he managed to he started his own thing, and now he's 69 millionaire for the first time in his life working for himself. So why
Tell
people
me,
wait too long? Why people wait too long,
yeah.
Michael?
I just I didn't know like what am I going to sell, you know? Because my friend said, why don't you start your own company? And he has his own fraction. What's it called? Invoice factoring company, right? So he's doing very well, 25 million a year. It's funny because like when you do a million a year, you're like, okay, that's sucks now. You always want more. Um, but yeah, this guy Lewis Merrifield basically pushed me a little bit. Um, People that I
Michael, but
was
let's
working
face it, you were doing very good with your job. 300,000,
200 to
uh,
250. Yeah, yeah,
not bad,
yeah. But
right?
always,
You have
everybody.
you have the weekend off.
Yeah,
Uh,
I have a director of client success, and I usually don't work on the weekends really. So and I have more freedom, now, but I have more stress, you know. So I think if if you're making 120,000 a year, right? It's not that hard to find $10,000 in fractional work if you actually put the time and effort
Uh-huh.
every day to go find clients.
Mhm.
But
And
you got
see
to
if
know
you
how to.
like it, Michael, and see if you like it, because not too many people like it in the other end to be an entrepreneur and you have to be responsible
Yeah.
for everything. And now you are more stressed.
What's your main business? Getting people to learn how to present and speak. Tell me a
I
little
did.
bit about.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.